Hello everyone, it's Barb here again, your favorite longtime professional home care personal support worker, union steward, and certified member and co-chair of 2 joint health and safety committees. I mentioned in the previous video there were a lot of renovations going on. The lion's share of them was in this office because this place used to be a duplex and they put a second staircase in right behind me, and there was a big hole here where it used to pass through and then in the ceiling, but it's finally been done. So the office is mostly back together, still recovering from the head cold, doing much better than I was. So this video is going to be about the year and a half I spent doing overnights, which is a big thing that got in the way of me doing this. 8 years ago, I held a similar position. It was days and overnights, and it was problematic on several fronts. To begin with, it was the travel. They would send me 2 hours one way, and I told them it's cheaper to put me up in a hotel room and give me a couple of shifts. But I ended up spending days away from home, and I suffered from what I like to call NMB, not my bed. But that wasn't the main issue. As time went on, the amount of sleep I was getting was becoming less. Now, shift work is bad for you. The science is there. And I science the heck out of my sleep. A cool room, dark. No, well, I do have a fan blowing all the time for airflow and for sound, but the amount of sleep dipped below 5 hours out of 24, and I knew I had to get out of it. I was starting to feel run down. So I explained to them, I have to get out of it for this reason. Now, my supervisor at the time didn't want to lose me, but as much as I appreciate the sentiment, the choice wasn't hers. So I went back to regular home care, which had its own challenges, but again, that's a video for another day. Things got bad for me when the pandemic hit because I was doing home care, and I've mentioned before that it's feast or famine. Well, it started famining awfully badly, so I had to do something. So this position came up, which was dedicated overnights in hospice, and I thought, well, that's right up my alley. It's the lesser of the evils where shift work is concerned, but it's still an evil, but I thought I'd be okay with it doing straight overnights. Well, not really. You know when you think you can do something, and then you start doing it, and then you find out, oh, wait a minute, nah, maybe not. Things started off okay, but then I was having issues because I had someone lodging in the house. And to keep to my schedule, even when I was off, I slept in the day and was up through the night, but I couldn't do anything in the night, such as big jobs or cleaning, because I would wake up my lodger. Then there was trying to get anything booked in a way of a repair person for anything, for a furnace or whatnot. They would say, we'll be there between 7 and 11. But the thing was, they would tend to show up closer to 11. Well, that's when I'm in bed. And then they still had to do the work. So, solution, book for my days off. Answer, sorry, we're not in the area that day. That was becoming a real challenge as well. Trying to get away, trying to have a social life, that when you're up when everyone else is not, yeah, not really working well. I missed out on some things. I missed out on a birthday celebration of a really dear friend because of it. I was taking it reasonably in stride, but then, again, my sleep started diminishing and it got down to just about 6 hours. Now, what I was doing in this job was dealing with hospice. Now, for those of you who don't know, hospice is when someone receives a life-ending diagnosis and they wish to die in their home. It's not MAID, that's something else. They don't want to die in a hospital. They just want to do it at home, surrounded by family and friends. And that's okay. I would go in and give the family a break through the night. I would ease their pain through giving medications under the directions of a registered nurse, look after the equipment, looking after their needs. One needs to be on the ball for that. I have a really excellent reputation, and I don't want to ruin it. The main thing was I didn't want to accidentally hurt someone. I've done a previous video on fatigue impairment, which is a real thing. I might accidentally fall asleep, or supposing the nurse called me with something and I was so tired I made a mistake. Heaven forbid I would do something like that, and I would never want to accidentally hurt a patient. There was a newer supervisor that had just been hired, and I explained this. Now, they misunderstood a little bit. They said they knew they were having a lot of expectations of me. I was doing all the first visits. I was training all the new staff coming in, and they were thinking they would lighten my load. And I said, that's not the problem. I love doing all the first visits. I love training the new staff. The problem is not the work, it's the schedule. I just can't do that anymore. I don't want to become fatigue impaired and potentially harm a patient. The thing was, there was no funding for day shift for that division. So unfortunately, I had to leave it completely. Not the company, just a lateral move. So I thought I'd be having to go back to home care until I found out there was a palliative position that was also guaranteed hours. That was the main thing, guaranteed hours. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, I'm guaranteed to be paid a set amount of hours every 2 weeks. If they don't have that many hours, it's 75, but they only had 20 hours for me. They had to pay out the whole 75. I'll do light work around the house, but I'm always ready to go if they call me because things can change within a day even. I took the position knowing it was only for a year because I'm covering for a maternity leave. Now here's the issue with that. If they come back, I lose the position and I have to go back to regular home care. Again, feast or famine. If they don't come back, the position is mine. I'm going forward assuming they're going to come back. I'm setting in motion some other things. I have a business, which I've had for 25 years, where I do this privately. I haven't been able to do it for a while because of the overnight shifts in the schedule I had, but I've just recently reanimated it and I've gotten my first private pay. I was going to go out and put my card in certain places where there are a lot of older folks, but then this happened. I know it's not the Rona, but people would assume so. So I thought I'll leave it until this is completely gone and then I'll go start my advertising. So that's what's been going on with me. There will be more videos to come. Watch this space. I would like you to stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you on the flip side.